since the union got their hands on performance management, there is no performance management.
All right, good evening. I'd like to call this...
Not so close.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I get mixed up. A little reverb here, sorry about that. Good evening, I'd like to call this regular meeting in North Branford Conservation and Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Agency to order. Again, it's Wednesday, February 26, 2025. It's approximately 6:33 p.m. First thing I'd like to do is just do a roll call of everyone seated here. We have members Bob Whitworth, Frank Pagano, Ashley Joyner. We have a town planner, David Perkins, who's also the Wetlands Administrator. I'm Steve Scavo, I'm chairman for this evening's meeting. Next, I'd like to do a Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next item would be number 3, minutes of December 18th, 2024 and January 22nd, 2025.
So I don't remember who can do what now.
Well,
And I wasn't here, so I
were
abstained.
you here from December or actually?
No, December I
You were
was,
here,
but
right?
not January.
Right.
So they have to be separated.
Yes.
Right.
So I think I was here December as far as I know.
I was too.
So were you here December?
I'd have to check.
So
there
can
was
I
one
make
month I missed.
can I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of December 18th,
Sure.
2024?
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, second, those minutes are approved. So now we go to January 22nd. We know Ashley wasn't here, but Frank.
I was, so
Frank and I, and you were definitely at that meeting. That's
So I
what
make a
thought.
motion to approve the minutes of January 22nd, 2025.
And a second.
Very good, all right.
Abstain.
That's fine with those meetings that are both accepted. Next, we'll move to old business, number 4, which is nothing is scheduled today. Then we'll move on to 5 new business. So item A, application 2025-1, 32 Cyril Road. A site plan, development of the site including clearing, excavation, grading, filling, drainage, and future construction of a new 8,000-foot building for a fence company, determination of a significant activity. Owner Robert Miller III, applicant James Brady PLS, Criscolo Engineering LLC.
The owner of the business.
So if you'd like to identify yourself and proceed.
Sure. Good evening, Jim Preddy, Criscolo Engineering.
Gotcha.
420 East Main Street, Branford. Representing the Millers who are here with me tonight. They are looking to build a new home for their business, Gateway Fence. This particular lot is one of the lots of the Triangle subdivision on Cyril Road. I think you guys are familiar with the one in the front of it. I think that's where the propane issue is. So it's actually a rear lot, as you can see on this map here.
Right.
Cyril Road being off to the left. It's about 3.6 acres. There are some wetland pockets on here, and it generally slopes up to the back. So what they're looking to do is build a new building and yard for the fence company. Be able to put vehicles and a shop inside, and then have the larger area of the pavement. It was for truck turning, loading trucks, and laying down of storing of fence materials, guardrails, fence posts, that kind of thing. We are proposing some wetland filling to try to take advantage of the area. Particularly the design of the building is kind of set up to have somewhat of a view from the front. So the overhead doors for the trucks will be in the rear. So part of the issue is, swinging the trucks around the back and getting them in and out of the garage. And again, just trying to grab as much area as they can for laying down of guardrails, fences, things
So
like
the
that.
rear is facing the wetlands.
Yes, the rear is here. So this
Okay.
is the road.
Yep.
The entrance to the office will be in the front, and then the trucks will be in the rear.
So is this whole area you're proposing to be paved then?
Yes, this area, the shaded area will be a paved area.
The whole all of the shaded area?
Yes, this area here. we did also submit an alternate, which gets this down to about 40 feet, which is about the minimum that we can still maneuver in and out of the building with the vehicles, and build a retaining wall around us. Again, this slopes up to this back corner. Again, trying to maximize everything. We need quite a bit of area to lay out stuff and to be able to load, guardrails and things on the trucks. So the pavement area is set up so that we can do that maneuver, and also be able to get around the building, fire access, etc. This lot will have a septic system. Again, minimal use, it's just for a small office area. There is storm drainage design as part of this. These lots, when we did the subdivision 20 years ago, these lots were set up to, or I should say this detention basin in this front lot was set up to handle the majority of the development on the sites. But we are providing a small infiltration unit to handle just some roof drainage to get some, groundwater infiltration back into the site. So yeah, I guess before we get much farther in this,
Which way do the trucks enter the building?
the trucks will come around and enter in the rear.
And just in and out, I'm assuming we're talking 18-wheelers?
No. How big are
There's
these?
small little, between pickup trucks and 12 and 14-foot rack bodies.
But what about when you get your shipment of material in, would that be on an 18-wheeler?
It's usually on 10-wheelers.
Oh.
Because most facilities are like what we have now currently, and there's not room for trailer trucks, so a lot of our suppliers use smaller trucks. They use more trucks, but smaller.
Okay.
To get the products there. Plus, a lot of guys get their product delivered right to the job sites, so there's no room for trailer trucks to go there. So, for the most part, everything's a little smaller.
And then can I ask one more question? The detention pond that you pointed out in the front, that's not on this property, there's no issues in using that?
No, again, this was sized to handle the development
I know.
and there are drainage easements.
So that's cool, and there's
Yeah,
no
that's
issue?
part of
Okay,
the record subdivision.
okay.
So just to add to that, I have just a couple questions, Jim. So my question, so that's still an active basin, that can still,
Yeah.
it's still functional? Because I know there's been a lot of things grown and, it being, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's Phragmites or whatever, I'm trying to remember, it looked like there's a lot of vegetation. Would that have to be cleared?
Probably needs to be mowed.
Okay, but I know it's still, I remember when this subdivision came in, I just remember it was a huge basin there.
The outlet structure and the outlet piping and all the.
Okay, so you can still utilize, because I mean, so just obviously you have two plans there, obviously from wetlands point of view. The second plan is more advantageous. However, I know that area's been heavily disturbed, over the years, and I think what I like to do is just maybe do a quick site walk and get a look at it to see what, how intense the wetland is and what, we can work with you on it,
Yeah, you're right, it has been heavily disturbed.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of this whole subdivision was part of Travis Yard.
Right.
He was there for a lot of years.
And I know there was someone there before who had the lot and did some, some cutting and some stuff, so.
Yeah, I think they had gone in and cleared.
Yeah, right.
Without being here first.
Right, so,
Yeah.
and again, we never got to walk it then. I just like to see it, because obviously it's a great project, we always encourage, in industry, light industrial for that use. But I don't know how the rest of you feel, I would just like to walk in and take a look at it.
Yeah, and that's logical, because I'm looking at this map without actually having seen it. Somebody somewhere said, this is a wetland. Okay, well, some wetlands are different than others. Is this just a shallow 2-inch thing of water that can be moved somewhere? We don't know, so I'd be more, what are we talking about here?
I was going to ask the same question.
Yeah.
I mean, what is the description of that piece of wetland?
We did submit the,
We didn't get it.
What?
Do we have a wetland report?
Not a complete one at this point, no. But I was up there about 18 months ago
I remember.
when they were clearing the area in the back, in the wetlands, and they really had no idea what they were doing. They weren't doing it on purpose to be in the wetlands, they just didn't know they needed a permit to do that sort of thing. So
I remember that, and they ceased desisted, and obviously they don't own the property anymore, but.
Right, and they did stop,
Right, right.
but there are interesting wetlands up there.
It's just, so do you concur with maybe a site walk would be good?
A site
We
walk
take
would
look?
be a great idea.
I think that's the best way to go with this, to start and then to get some information for all of us to see it, so. I mean, it's,
Sorry.
Oh,
Do you have the copy of the original wetland report that we submitted with the application?
So you meant the soil sciences report?
Whatever he submitted, we don't have a copy of any of it.
When he did the delineation, he gave us a report that you should have.
Do you know if, when we go out there, is the building locations, would it be staked?
I can have that done before you
And
get out
are the
there.
wetlands flagged?
They were, beginning of last year.
Oh, so this has been going on for a while.
We did the survey.
if you could outflag some basic boundaries, especially the
Yeah,
one.
it doesn't have to be crazy, just to
Just
give us
the
an
part that you
idea.
were, like, especially when you were thinking, proposing filling, we'd like to see that area, obviously, we'd like to focus on that, along the whole wetland.
So, wetland flag in May.
Oh, okay, so there should still be some flags there,
There should
hopefully.
still be some flags,
Good.
unless somebody came in and wiped everything out.
That would be a problem.
This is amazing how they disappear.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. So Jim, another question. So you said there will be a septic on site now. Are you guys gonna need a well? Are you gonna tap the city water line?
There's city water available.
You're gonna use that? Oh, okay, good. I didn't know if it's your option, but
It's gonna be expensive to have city water up there.
So here's the septic is over here. This is, like, again, this slopes this way, so it's on down.
so the septic is totally away from the wetlands. So that would be, I mean, obviously you go to East Shore for your approval for that, but it won't affect the wetlands, so. Okay.
And so paving this whole site, is that for storage of all the different types of fencing and rods and everything else?
Moving trucks and storing the, fence materials, guardrails, posts.
So in lieu, I mean, could be a legitimate reason for that. So is there, I haven't looked at any of the drainage statistics or anything. So you're saying you can using that basin structure that's totally unused now, but you're saying using that and the other infiltration that you're gonna take from the roof, you could mitigate a lot of that, because it's just a big area to be paved, that's all. We're just.
So, I can say this only because I was part of it.
Yeah, no, I
It
understand.
happened in 2005 or 6.
Right.
When these lots were brought in for subdivision, that basin was sized to develop all of the lots.
So I do kind of remember that, but, we can
Fully
revisit.
paved lots or lots that had drainage in other ways?
Paved lots with roof infiltration.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that there is the capacity
And
to.
some lots have bigger buildings than others.
Right, but in general, that bit you're saying, my general, I mean, we can investigate it further, but that basin looks big enough, or would you agree that it would be able to, take a lot of the drainage from here and mitigate it,
Oh, yeah.
obviously?
The way the methodology is, all these basins that we've done over the years are usually way too big.
Well, that's a good thing.
But just following the methodology that we're supposed to, that's just, I've never seen any.
But I guess it leads that, so if the basin is good, it obviously might have to be cleared of vegetation to
Yeah,
make it functional, but you don't see that, you have to go in there and do more digging there. Of course, it's
No,
not near the wetlands, so
no.
it really doesn't matter to me,
It was-
actually, but just curious.
It was done.
It was done big enough to
To the-
handle a big
to the
project like
plans,
this.
yeah, years
Good.
ago.
That's good to know, like,
But, I think because nobody has been draining into it, I don't think
right,
it's been
it's
cut.
just kind of, right, I know, it's
Yeah.
just natural, natural vegetation
Right.
is overtaken, but which can be addressed.
Do you have the report?
I don't, but if you want me, I can get it.
Maybe have it for us, because
Yeah.
we're gonna go to a
Next time.
sidewalk, maybe we can get copies
I'll
for next
email
month.
it to you.
Yeah, that'd be, no, yeah, because we're gonna do a
It
sidewalk.
wasn't part of your package?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Can I ask another question? This
Sure.
is probably a dog question, but Since it's a fencing company, I'm going to assume they're going to put a fence around their property, right? Is the fence going to be where the red line is, or going to be around where the parking lot is? Because the red line goes through the wetlands. I think it's red.
Yeah, the red line is the property line.
Yeah, so it's
No, the fencing would be around
the parking lot, okay. It wouldn't be down below there.
No,
So that would be
it wouldn't-
left,
yeah, it
would that be
wouldn't
left
make
just
sense to
wild, or?
Well, they said that they
So-
want to clear and then replant or get rid of the invasive species and
Was
then
that what-
replant
oh, I
wetlands
didn't see
next.
that.
It's in their application.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Which
Okay.
would be.
I read it, but I don't remember it.
Right, so
Okay.
the criteria, usually in order is restore, enhance, create, creating
Right.
at least desirable. So, our thought was there is, as part of our mitigation, that we have any invasives removed by
Perfect.
hand, obviously, and then overseed with a wetland mix so that the
Okay.
wetland plantings would choke out the weeds.
So I think we all agree that the best thing to do is, is schedule a site walk. And
Sure.
then next meeting, we'll
Yeah.
come back, we'll get the wetland report, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Okay, so and that's not out of the normal, I just, if we're gonna make this a public hearing, should we know that now?
We don't know if it's
No,
going to be a
we're
public
not.
hearing yet. We
Yeah.
just want to do a site walk. to
Right, so
see
we-
If this wetlands area is a real wetlands, an interesting one, as David said, or if it's something that we need public input for.
And that's why we're doing the sidewalk here. We're not gonna determine tonight whether we need a public hearing. We may get there and, maybe we'll look at it and we, might, like I said, you have two, what I would really like is that you do have a plan B, because, you have a feasible, prudent alternative. We may have to look at that, but I'm just saying, we have two plans now we can think about when we're out looking at this, when we're thinking about if you're saying the second plan might be viable, then that's, but we have to, this is not unusual on a project with a big wetland and we're not familiar with it, to go look at it before, because it's not fair if we said this was a, significant activity without even looking at it, it's not fair to the applicant, so we'd rather make an informed decision.
I only asked so that we're not having 2 months instead of 1 month.
We should, but that's what I'm saying,
We don't know.
We don't know, but honestly, if we do a site visit, we're all gonna see it, and we should be able to make a determination either way by next meeting, I can't say it's gonna be 3-4 months, but it's obviously.
Okay, so I will have the building staked. You're gonna just let me know when.
Well, we'll decide
Are there,
now.
are there any more details in terms of the restoration plans?
No, other than what I've described, and maybe
Like-
handwork, really.
Right. But there are no new plants, there's just,
We haven't, I didn't know where this was going in, so.
well, I think that's where Steve's coming from. If we get to a site walk, we can look at it and,
I mean, normally the landscaping plan is part of the planning and zoning requirement, and so until I knew we were gonna get through this or not, I didn't want to waste that.
correct. Okay.
Landscape architect.
That's fine, but since a lot of your planning is gonna be done in and around the wetland, obviously, that would be under our jurisdiction.
Well, what's your
So we can
timing?
commit to buffer plantings, and that could be part of the landscape plan and zoning, but to detail it out now before we even get through this, that's a lot of effort.
That's fine, if we,
What's your timing for this? Because we want to help, obviously, we want businesses in our town,
yeah,
so.
this is a great business to
It's
have.
a great
so.
business to have. So what is because I get the impression,
Maybe we start tomorrow.
We
But
kind
didn't
of
you
get
say
that
you
feeling,
started,
so our goal is to get, that's why we don't want to drag this out. We want to go to the site walk, get some information, and then next meeting, hopefully, we can give you, we have a plan of action for you and for us, and then, you never can predict, but it looks like two options, which is, we always like to see. Always like to see two options when you're dealing with. So, I think now, if you want, we can just, because we can schedule it.
Yep, so take out your phones, look
Yeah.
at your calendars.
Yeah, so what would be, when would be bad or good for you? We're pretty flexible, but we,
As long as it's not next Thursday.
I can't do that. You mean during the day?
2 places already next Thursday.
that's okay. Well, that's why we're asking. We figure let's schedule right now and,
What do you usually do
Anytime's
that
fine,
at 5 o'clock or something? 5
Yeah, we-
Or we could do a
Well, we
weekend.
have-
we
Yeah,
can
we
do it
do.
early
We have to
Saturday
be
morning.
careful 'cause
But
it
we
gets
don't like
dark.
to do that. We do it in the winter when there's no time after, we get home from work, but it's getting a little lighter at,
Well,
daylight
the
savings.
time changes in a few weeks, I think,
Yeah.
right?
So,
But I
It's on the
mean,
10th of March, but if we can want to do Saturday the 8th.
That's fine with me.
That
I'm
works for
okay
me,
with
sure.
that.
Or Saturday, the 8th?
Saturday, 8th, what
Would you
time?
morning, like 10 o'clock?
Or we can even do earlier
We
if
can
you
even
want.
do earlier if you
That's
want.
Fine, no, 10 o'clock?
If you want to do it 9.
How about 9 o'clock?
Yeah, why don't we
Does
shoot
that
for
work
9?
for
That way
you?
we'll,
But
Does that work for you?
I'll be awake, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So which time would you like, 9 or 10?
we'll,
Saturday at 9 is fine.
So the 8th, March 8th, 9 o'clock.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, because we want this to move along so they can get the building going. Because it sounds like they've been working on this about a year, is that right?
Yeah, it's been, well, since May.
Okay, well, almost a year, right?
Yeah.
And that whole area, as far as I know, still needs development, right? It's still,
There's other lots that haven't been developed yet, yeah.
yeah.
Hopefully this will spur some activity there.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, it's good. This is the kind of activity we like to see. It's a nice,
And
nice
they're-
light
they're-
industrial use.
Nice, a clean one without
Yeah.
the problem of blowing up.
That's always an advantage.
And is there, you bring up the need for a public hearing. I'm not that familiar with that neighborhood. Is that because there are residences in the back up to it, or?
There are some that back
The
up.
residents in the back,
Yeah,
but
in
this
the
is a
back.
business that's not high industrial without a lot of noise. I
Yeah.
don't see this being a huge.
It shouldn't be that.
Okay, I was just wondering what the concern
It
was for a
really-
public meeting.
No,
No, it was
if you
wetlands.
folks deem it a significant activity, it becomes a public hearing regardless of a
Oh,
neighbor.
I was thought maybe it's because of no, I understand that, but I was.
And honestly, we would do a site walk anyway, even if it wasn't a public hearing, even if that wasn't even in the question, we would still want to look at it because, that's the only way we could determine.
Honestly, I wasn't even thinking about the sidewalk because I thought you guys were already there.
Yeah.
I thought you'd been there because of
No.
other people.
We did, Dave reported us, with the previous owner of what was going on, and he investigated. We got reports, but it had never been on now. I know where it is. I live actually in that end of town, and
Gotcha.
my mall is right down the street from there, but anyway, I haven't been walking on it.
It's a pain, I know, but I didn't know about this.
But I'll get, before next Saturday, I'll get the building staked and I'll have them look and see if there's no flags.
Yeah.
Then we could, from our drawing, we could put some.
Especially
markers
around the
back.
tip where that you're thinking proposing
Right.
filling. That, if you could just at least get that cone, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because that's the area we're really concerned about initially. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, we're concerned all wetlands, but that would, at least we'll see where it is, where you propose, so.
Gotcha.
That would be fine, and shouldn't take long, it's easy to get to, right up, yeah, right? The roads how's the road going up there, though? 'Cause sometimes it gets so muddy up there.
Does anybody still use the road that cuts through to?
So the road coming off of Cyril.
Yeah.
What is to be the driveway, it's very good for an art.
It is, okay.
Yeah, the road's
It is
in good
oh.
shape.
Oh, okay, wasn't sure, I just know with this time of the year, you get a good rain, if you want us to park on the road, but we can drive up there, okay, good,
Yeah.
that's fine.
And then two questions.
At least part of the way in.
Yes, sir.
So two questions, and they may sound silly, but I'll ask them anyway. There's no such thing as a bad question. I'm comparing the size of the area in green against the size of the building. Are we looking at an area perhaps the size of this room? Maybe a little larger than
This
that?
is about, it's like 3,700 square feet.
Okay.
Yeah, about the size of a single-family home
Oh, okay.
built,
So it's not too huge.
a good-sized single-family home, but. Yeah.
Right. And one other question I have, I know in some major construction projects, like a Department of Transportation, they need to take this land, which might be identified wetlands, but they'll offset that by creating fresh wetlands over here. So we move the
We
wetland.
have that
Yeah,
option.
we've done that.
So that's an option,
before.
right? Probably an
Absolutely.
expensive option,
It is
but
an
it's an option,
Yeah,
right?
but it's yeah, we've done that before, and that's a good point, Bob.
Okay, that's all I got.
We always look to,
So I don't believe that your regulations have a mechanism that requires,
Correct. I think it's the statement you said before about,
restore, enhance, create.
Right.
Create being the last choice because to actually,
Yeah.
to create a viable wetland takes many years and
Right.
it usually doesn't work out.
right. We're just saying that's an option. Doesn't mean we have to use it here, but Bob just but we have done that before, and every project's different, you know what I mean? Some of the ones we've done are extensive housing so we don't need to go down that road now. It's just,
Yeah.
we just have options.
Yep.
As do you, so. All right, well then, I guess then the best thing to do is we'll hold off all our discussion till we visit it, look at it, come back the next meeting and And Dave will get us that wetlands, right, that, or the soil report you're gonna get and email it to us, right?
I will email you the soil sciences
Perfect.
report,
It's all sound.
and we will schedule the public hearing.
No public hearing,
I mean-
sidewalk.
Sidewalk, yeah.
Sidewalk for
March
March
8th, yeah.
4th.
Sidewalk.
March 8th,
Don't
sorry.
give Jim a heart attack here, we just told him that.
8 at 9 o'clock.
8th at 9 o'clock.
March 8th at 9 o'clock, correct. All right,
And one other thing, sir, when you spoke, can you just identify yourself for the record? Because we don't know who you are.
Robert Miller Jr. and Robert Miller III.
all right,
Okay,
thank
thank
you. Terrific, all right. All right then, so do we basically, we've already established a sidewalk, we don't need a motion to, because this has been submitted, should we need to make a motion to table it? Has it formally been?
I think you can
Should
make a
probably
motion
do that,
to
right?
table it, yeah.
It has been sent. So if someone wants to make a motion, we table it pending a sidewalk.
Okay. I move that we table application 2025-1, 32 Ciro Road, until the next meeting pending a sidewalk.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, right, thank you very much.
Good luck with the project.
Yep.
See you guys Saturday.
We'll see you Saturday the 8th, yeah, absolutely. All right, we're gonna move on to item 6, which is the Wetland Enforcement Officer's Report. Anything for us, Dave?
I have no new information, no.
So nothing on the clearing of the trees or DEEP getting involved with the project behind Mill Pond?
I have no update on that.
Okay. So nothing's come down, okay. And are we going to go up there? Because we had talked about going to see.
Yeah, I was waiting to see how, we did talk about that. We didn't ever schedule anything like in January, but we talked back in December. I mean, you're still
I-
working with the developer, right?
I will follow up with him and find out what's going on.
And then you let us know, then if we need to, then we could go on the site. How's that? We'll wait for David to get some information. Is that acceptable then? Because we always had talked about going on this, back on the site, so. All right. Very good. Anything else that anyone wants to bring up at this point, or are we ready for adjournment?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay.